In Tune Parenting, the first step to a better future.
Hi, it's Helen from In Tune Parenting. Today we're going to talk about toddler tantrums. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe and click that little bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. If you have a toddler, I'm sure you've been there. Temper tantrums. Toddler temper tantrums are common and, if properly addressed, can be completely manageable. Knowing the reasons for your child's behaviour can help you address the problem much better and maybe even avoid the temper tantrum altogether. The part of the brain that regulates emotion and controls social behaviour is called the prefrontal cortex. According to scientists, the prefrontal cortex is preoccupied, helping children to learn a new language up until the age of 4. Children aged 4 and under, therefore, throw tantrums because their brain is not yet developed enough to control their emotional and social behaviour. You can't stop your child from throwing tantrums, but you can deal with them and maybe even prevent some of them altogether. Also, the stress that toddlers and preschoolers have increases their cortisol level, which is the root of all tantrums. Wondering what kind of stress a toddler can have? Being a young, vulnerable child, entirely dependent on mum and dad. Stressful! Can you imagine not being able to go about your day and just help yourself? That every time you wanted to do something or have something, there was a very real possibility that you'd be just told, no, end of, no explanation. There are 4 types of tantrums. Number 1, power tantrums. Power tantrums happen whenever your child hears no and they just don't know how to respond to that. Offering a choice can alleviate this, helping your child to feel that they are in the driver's seat of their life. So as your child starts to draw on their hands or the wall, don't just shout no. Absolutely tell them no and don't allow them to draw on the walls. Offer a choice as well. No, we don't draw on walls. Where could we draw? Let's have a look. Will we try and find a page? Will we try and find a colouring book? Just stating no will have effect on getting your child's attention, yes, but it has to be followed through on. I always try to just put myself in my child's shoes to understand how they're feeling just hearing a blunt no. I'd act defiantly too if no was being doled out with no reason. Would you not? Next time, instead of just lifting your toddler and plonking them on the changing table and starting to take off their clothes and change their nappy and put their clothes back on, all while they're kicking and wriggling and trying to get away from you, try this. Okay, we need to change your nappy now. Do you want to go up on the changing table or will we put a pillow down here on the floor? Would you like to wear this dress or your dungarees today? Number 2, attention tantrums. Okay, so this one is usually met with, don't give them attention or they will learn that that's an acceptable way to get what they want. Well, I disagree. A child who is screaming for your attention needs your attention. So give it to them before they need to tantrum for it. Attention tantrums need never happen if you take the time to connect deeply with your child every day. It can be just in as little as 5 minutes of concentrated time where you're just focusing on them. It can be as simple as just looking them in the eye when you ask them, what would you like for breakfast? Be giving them a good morning hug or gently combing and tying up their hair. Eye contact while you smile at them and just be present with them for a moment. Only a moment. And then on with your busy day. There are 3 times a day which I've identified as being the most important time for connection. Mom I shared this with recently has told me it's been a complete game changer in her home. First 3 minutes after your child wakes up in the morning. The next most important time is the 3 minutes after you've been reunited, after a creche or play school or any time that you spent apart. Lastly, the 3 minutes before bedtime. Commit to being positive, undistracted and interested in these 3 moments at least, and you will see attention tantrums completely disappear. Number 3, frustration tantrums. There, right? You're trying everything in your power to get that jar open and it just won't budge. Ah! your child to put their shoes on 10 times in 10 different ways and they're still just sitting there. Begged, you've pleaded, you've commanded, still no response. Frustration! When we can't control our environment, we get frustrated. And unless we've been taught, or taught ourselves, more constructive ways to deal with that frustration, we tantrum. And so do our children. So how can we reduce the level of frustration in our children's lives? Well, again, giving choice helps. Having things at your child's level helps. And then independence skills helps. But a lot of the time, just understanding that they're frustrated and empathizing with them is as much as we can do. In life, there will be frustrations. We can't take that away from our child without crippling them, by depriving them of opportunities to learn how to handle their frustration. As parents, it's natural to want to just jump in there and help them, or even just do it for them. But do resist that temptation. In time, your child will learn the tools that they need, and frustration tantrums will become less and less often. Being in there and doing it for them, you'll just delay this. 4. Overstimulation tantrum. Some children, more than others, will become overstimulated by their surroundings. In my family, this is my son. If the lights were too bright, or there was too many people looking at him or holding him, he would become overstimulated and cry for me to help him to deal with that uncomfortable feeling. My daughters seem to be able to handle brighter, noisier environments, but they still have their own limits. It goes from fun and games to meltdown. Oftentimes, as parents, we bring these tantrums on ourselves. So maybe on Pinterest or Instagram, that party looked incredible. But for your child, it's just too much. It's just too different from their everyday. Being ungrateful for the amount of time and effort you took to plan this amazing party. They aren't necessarily high on sugar, although they may be, and they aren't being naughty. The same goes for when you take them to a soft play centre, the cinema, to visit relatives, out shopping. It always seems like it's at the most inopportune time that your child has this meltdown. And maybe you're feeling embarrassed. The discomfort that you're feeling in that moment is nothing compared to the overwhelm that your child is suffering, and your disapproval only adds to that. My advice? Get them out of there. They're feeling so overwhelmed and so uncomfortable that their screams and cries are their way of pleading with you to please take them out of that situation. Your child needs to be removed from that situation to rebalance and reconnect with what truly matters. Lift them and cuddle them. Go outside or to the car or some secluded area if you can't take them home. Listen and just be there until they realign. They seem to be caught in their upset, unable to break free of it. I found bursting into song helps. Just being silly. Distractions at first, and then as they begin to calm down, you can explain to them that you understand how they feel. You've been there yourself, or you know someone who has. Let them know that those crazy, overwhelmed feelings are normal and okay, and that you'll be there as long as they need you to be. Maybe you'll need to rejoin the party, so in this case, you just tell your child, okay, we're probably going to have to go back in now in a minute, okay? Are you ready now? Do you need another minute? Give them that choice. Help them start to feel in control again. Reassure them that if they begin to feel overwhelmed again, that they can just tell you and you'll take them out. They don't need to scream and cry to get your attention. If they're not yet vocal, you can have them point to the door or lead you by the hand if they need to go out again. And follow through on your promise. If they do come up, don't be distracted. Remember that your child is finding this situation difficult and help them, remove them again and as many times as they need. For very small babies, respond to their cries, rock them, feed them, hold them in a sling, let them sleep. I find holding my baby in a sling means that you don't have to engage in past the baby and you get to just keep them cuddled next to you where they feel really safe and secure. Show your children through your actions that you understand and that you're going to be there for them. There will be times when you're finding it really difficult to keep your cool and not just melt down into a full-blown adult tantrum. In those cases, remember, toddler temper tantrums are just part of their normal development and they will pass. Avoid thinking that your child is trying to manipulate you. They just don't know how to deal with that really awful feeling that they're having. Humor is good. Do distract yourself by watching something funny or thinking of a joke. However, I absolutely do not mean that you should laugh out loud whenever your child is upset. Absolutely not. Thinking of something calming or beautiful inside your own mind while your child is tantruming can help you to change your physiology from a frown to something more neutral or maybe even positive. When your child is lost in a sea of overwhelm, frustration, or anger, your calm disposition can have a soothing effect. It will serve you in that you will be reassuring and comforting to your child. Responding to your child's tantrum by tantruming yourself will only serve to teach your child that yelling and shouting and fighting is an acceptable way to deal with high emotions. Ignore other people. The looks that you might get from other people may or may not be supportive, but that's irrelevant. Go easy on yourself. Your child's tantrums are not an ill reflection of your parenting. When you feel at the end of your tether, when you can't respond kindly to your child, take a break. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Disciplining after a tantrum. Don't give in to avoid or appease a tantrum. The rules are the rules. You consciously chose those rules for your household, so they're obviously important for you. You can be compassionate and loving and empathetic towards your child who is finding keeping those rules difficult in the moment, without actually changing the rules. Be supportive as they navigate their path. Allow them to feel their feelings and empathize. Give them choices and listen to their objections. The rules are still the rules. It might take months, it might take years, but believe me, one day your patience will definitely pay off. As with all areas in your parenting, your behaviour is a living model for your child. Meeting a toddler tantrum with a tantrum of your own, punishing, yelling, threatening, will only increase the tantrums in the future. So remember, toddler temper tantrums are part of your child's development. Don't feel bad or stress out, and most importantly, don't fall into thinking that your child is manipulative or spoiled. Be kind, supportive, show love and empathy.